Hi, I'm John Wyken, Director of Strategic Initiatives here at Spec Engineering. Thank you for joining us for the Big Idea video series. This is where we talk about how innovation shapes our culture and drives our growth. Today, we are fortunate to have Brian Bernard here, President of Spec, to talk to us about some big ideas at Spec.
Thanks, John. You're right. Innovation plays a big role at Spec. We do these innovations within projects, down to the details of every piece of equipment that we specify, design, or build to provide a complete solution that is, right on with what our customers need.
Yeah, as Director of Strategic Initiatives, I love hearing the idea of Spec being a purpose-driven company. Can you tell us a little bit more about its history?
From day one, we were an equipment-based firm. And how Spec has been successful for years is not just doing what was done on the last project. We always look to better the design, to find better innovations and better opportunities to make our customers' projects and integrations more successful.
Can you give me a couple examples of how innovation has played a part in Spec's success?
Spec has always been a real leader and has expertise in the dust collection, dust mitigation, and plant safety that goes with that. NFPA has upped its regulations over years, and I think you were part of the Spec tank where we put a bunch of our staff in and gave them projects to look at, to come up with some ideas that were good for industry. And one that was spot on and timely was coming up with a piece of equipment called our dust rescuer that meets NFPA guidelines, basically captures dust where it is created, and also can be rescued for more higher value ingredients and things of that nature. So it's safety and it's innovation of the business of saving those ingredients and keeping the operator safe.
One of the challenges that companies have is how do you maintain that culture of innovation throughout the whole organization, and what are some of the challenges? Maybe you could speak to those two issues.
That's a great question. Process engineering simplified isn't just words, it's how we approach a project. We start at a certain level, we have an application review. Okay, so that means peers and other people are able to look at the design at a certain stage, ask questions about, of course, the scope and making sure that we're meeting all the needs of the project, meeting the design parameters. We're also looking for opportunities and innovations to improve that.
Talk a little bit more about innovation just in general, besides just at Spec, but why it's important in general.
Engineers kind of get a bad rap of being, kind of black and white, just details, nuts and bolts and things of that nature. So to debunk that, we have to allow free thinking within our projects and within our developments. And then that's important not only here at work, but it's important everywhere. We have our circa 1932 cooling wheel, Holberger, J.W. Holberger cooling wheel that is, an authentic, actually working model that we've, kind of retro refurbished to really celebrate that innovation back in the day. Back in the boom of the candy industry, the actual fondant wheel cooling wheel was invented out of need for the ability to create a sugar-based product that had fine crystallization without using powdered sugar. It was very expensive, it was very dangerous, it was very dusty, and this process innovation is another example of what's core to Spec and why we're so interested in that type of equipment and those type of processes.
So recently, Spec Engineering became a partner company of Gray Inc. Can you talk about how that has, can you talk about the history of that and how that actually has supported the innovation going forward?
Sure, yeah, it's a very exciting time for Spec. We started discussions with Gray Construction, which is part of Gray Inc. In 2017 and 18, became a partner company in 18, and fully joined the company in early 2019. Their approach is just like Spec's. Treat people well, customer focused, safety is paramount. How it ties back to innovation is James Norris Gray has a really neat saying that is in the archives, and his mantra is give the customer what he wants and a little bit more. And for me, that little bit more is that innovation, that little extra thinking. From a business standpoint, being part of Gray now gets us opportunities to be Spec and be everything Spec is at a on larger projects. We have more financial and human resource backing to do more innovations, to do larger projects and execute larger projects. From scope, from the beginning of a project, the beginning of an operation, all the way through to the end. John, maybe we can take a walk down to the shop and I can show you where even more innovation happens on the shop floor.
Yeah, let's go.
So John, this is our fabrication and assembly area, and as you can see, we have a lot of things going through here right now, and could be frames, could be equipment, could be a number of things every day. What is really awesome about our coordination between fabrication and engineering is that the assemblers and fabricators get an opportunity to collaborate with engineering to think about access, to think about how things come together, how things are maintained, which again fits right into our culture of innovation, and ideation for a better solution.
Ryan, thank you very much for joining us today, taking time out of your busy schedule. It was a fantastic conversation. And I want to thank all of you for joining the Big Idea video series, and join us next time for the next big idea at Spec Engineering.